afternoon, Ms. Egan. You know what time it is. It's 7/8/2022. That's right, July the 8th, 2022. This is your show, Torn the Two. Don't touch that dial. It's political season, and we have a whole lot to talk about, man. On the national level and the international level, Boris Johnson in England, the assassination of, oh my gosh, the assassination of Prime Minister, former Prime Minister there, too. A lot of stuff to talk about. But listen, let me tell you some ground rules of what's happening with political season. We try to give as many candidates an interview and that make sure that you are informed. Number two, what we try to do is make sure that we ask the same questions or same similar questions that no one similarly has an advantage. Now, with that said, if you're running on the Democrat Party, for instance, we're going to slant it a little more that way. If you're, but on both sides, if you're running for a higher office, we're going to say, what do you think about January 6th and the insurrection? We're just gonna ask you that, okay? But it's election time. We have a ton of candidates to go to. So let me get my co-host in there. His screen looks better now. One of the twins is one of the sectors. Pastor Melvin C.
Hey, I'm good, brother. How are you this afternoon?
I am great. Me, and when it comes down to election season, I go nuts.
I can smell it in the air, brother.
Yeah, there's blood in the water.
Yeah, signs everywhere.
I just love the whole smell of things, the signs, how the signs look. I just love it. I do want to say the thing in England with Jeff Johnson's watermelon.
Oh,
happened in Japan.
yes.
The assassination.
Man, a lot going on internationally. But don't forget we still got a war in Ukraine and a lot happening internationally.
You guys hear me? All of a sudden, I can't hear myself.
Can't hear me or can't hear yourself?
All right. So let's get to today's guest. He is running from the 14th Circuit Court. Incumbent position. Put your hands together for Jenny McNeill. How you doing?
Good. Thank you so much.
Okay, we can echo. Somebody.
Is it me?
I think it's you.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, the show must go on. Oh yeah, this might. You know what? This might help right here.
So it was you.
Yeah, it was me because they switched mics on me.
Okay.
Yeah, much better.
Oh yeah. Go figure that out. All right. So Jenny McNeill, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Okay. So you are running for what office? And like I said, don't be afraid to give shameless plugs.
Well, I'm running for 14th Circuit Court Judge. Is there a little echo there still?
Yeah. Keep talking. We'll figure it out.
Okay. 14th Circuit Court Judge. It's Judge Marietti's position. He's retiring at the end of the year, so that's the position I'm running for. I currently am a family court referee at the 14th Circuit Court. Is that good echo getting any better?
Keep working. Pastor Burns, check your sound.
I may have to switch machines.
Okay, why don't you switch machines while we keep
getting I'm going to drop out. I'll be back.
Okay. All right, Jenny. There we go.
Yeah, that's better. Technology, it's wonderful when it works.
Yeah, we got it now. Okay. So let's go again what you just said.
Okay, so I'm running for a 14th Circuit Court judge. It's Judge Marietti's position. He's retiring at the end of the year, so it's an open seat. So that's the position I'm seeking. I currently work at the 14th Circuit Court. I'm what we call a family court referee. So
Okay.
I do hearings for juveniles that commit crimes, and the neglect and abuse, and the custody, parenting time, child support, all those things.
Okay.
This is my 5th year, I believe, there
Your 5th year of doing it.
as a referee. I've been an attorney now for, well, this will be my 26th year. I've been licensed 26 years in the fall. Graduated from law school in 1996. So I've been at this a long time.
Okay. All right. So, far as running for office and stuff, is this just your first time running for office, or?
Nope, this is my 2nd time. I ran 6 years ago there was a probate court, kind of family court position. I ran for that, but I didn't make it out of the primary.
Yeah. Now, okay. So speaking of, because we have a primary with so many candidates,
Yes.
what happens? Is it winner takes all in this primary, or how's it go?
The top 2 then go on to the election in November.
Okay.
So, like, for example, in my seat, the 2 top vote getters would move on, and then there's another open seat because we're getting a new judgeship, and so the top 2 in that race will go on to November, and then it's whoever, only one person wins in each race.
Okay. All right. Let's get Pastor Melvin Burns on. All right. Are you there, sir?
I'm here now.
All right.
Oh,
Much better.
Much better.
Much better.
Okay, it was me.
Okay. So you've been a lawyer, you said, how long?
This will be my 26th year. So 25 years, 26 years in the fall.
Okay. What do you feel that you bring to what you would bring to this office?
What would I bring? Well, a number of things. The first would be experience. Those years of being a lawyer are, in my opinion, a big deal. I have done all sorts of areas of law. The circuit court does, the felony, criminal, civil over 25,000, and all the family. And I have experience in all of those areas. I started as a legal aid attorney, so representing low-income individuals in all sorts of civil types of cases. I even did, some immigration issues. I did family law issues. Spent a significant time helping survivors of domestic violence. Just got a lot of experience. It was really a great experience working at legal aid. Then I went into private practice. I spent over 10 years in private practice. It was Lattice Hoops McNeill Law. Got even more experience, branched out into more types of cases. And then I was fortunate enough to be offered this position as a family court referee. So I am the only candidate who has experience like managing a docket and making decisions on a daily basis for the youth in our community, like I said, for the neglect and abuse cases and all the other family law cases. So I bring that experience, first of all. I bring a very strong work ethic. It's a little bit of a joke in my office. I don't know if it's that private practice I came from, but I'm the one there. I work through my lunch hour. When we were furloughed back, in the pandemic, the county was trying to save money. A great thing. I didn't mind at first, but the problem was that there was still more work to do. What the Supreme Court had us, we had to keep working. We think of government, the third branch, the judicial branch is pretty darn important. And so I, kind of nagged, bugged our court administrators and chief judge and said, please take us off the furlough. Other people would have been like, great, I get a Friday off, good. Not me. That's not me. There was work to be done, and eventually they did take us off the furlough. I also am very involved in the community and always have been. People see me all over the place, not because I'm running for office, but because I'm always all over the place. I'm a past president of the Muskegon County Bar Association, very instrumental in our Law Day contest. We brought in Rotary. We give away thousands of dollars to the youth in our community through that contest. I'm very involved. I'm the family law chair of the Bar Association, very involved in different organizations. I was on the board of Every Woman's Place for years. I'm the past president, still involved. I was there last night for an event that they had honoring people in the community when Muskegon Family Care found itself in some trouble. They called me, hey, Jenny, will you come help? That was what, Christmas of 2018, I believe. Jenny,
Mhm.
will you come help? We need help. We're in trouble. And my answer when people call me and say, please help, is almost always yes. I'm struggling right now because I have too much on my plate, but it's yes. And so I dig in and do what we need to do. So that experience in the community has been very beneficial, not only just in helping our local agencies, but even in, for example, I was helping, they're doing some cleanups on the lake. And so I start talking to folks. I like to talk to people, and said, hey, we have some juveniles that need some community service. Can they come here and do some of this? And they're like,
Mhm.
yes. And so kind of started a neat little pipeline there of kids kind of, meeting up with some groups in the community, and they're getting the community service hours that they need, and investing in our community. And then the community benefits by having some work done. So that's me kind of in a nutshell. And
Mhm.
I bring all that. And so I would bring all that to the position of a circuit court judge and be able to do kind of even more for our community.
All right, it's 2:16. If you would like to ask Jenny McNeill a question, you can do that via our Facebook site, M106 or WVS 103.7 The Beat. I see that the circuit court judge would handle felony cases, criminal over $25,000.
Civil over 25,000. Yes. And the family.
Okay, and the family. Okay,
Yes.
Pastor Burns.
Yeah, are there any upcoming issues facing the circuit court that that'll be new or challenging in the coming future?
Ooh. The biggest challenge, I think, is this change in our case management systems. Really
Okay.
are a big system. We just changed over to a new system, and the Supreme Court is really pushing to have us kind of change up some of our case management systems and have it will be more accessible to the public. And so I think it's going to be a huge challenge because the technology in that building is maybe a little bit ancient. So that's
Okay.
going to be kind of our big challenge, is making sure how do we move forward and getting sure that we have the technology that we need and that we have the case management systems that we need. That's kind of the big, sort of from a practical standpoint, a big issue that's happening right now in the courts.
One of
Okay.
the things you say, I treat every person with respect and dignity, making sound and I'm trying to read with my glasses.
Yeah.
Decisions every day.
Yes.
You know what? Getting old is, I can't say that word, but you treat everybody fairly.
Yes. I think that is so important when people come in front of you, is making sure that you treat every person with respect and dignity, because and that's where I say that experience matters. I am a different lawyer than I was when I started, 20 some years ago.
Mhm.
I'm a different person even, but I'm a different lawyer. I'm a better lawyer because part of it is just that representing people. So I've represented people from all walks of life, the poorest of poor, especially at legal aid, but people who also have lots of money, people who have been down on their luck. All sorts of situations. And so I've experienced that and walked next to them. And so I kind of bring that in my head, like every case that I have, when I'm sitting there listening, because that's what you have to do. You have to listen. I'm trying to kind of put myself in their shoes and treat them the way I would want to be treated. If that was me sitting there, or my family member, or my friend, how would I want to be treated? So that's kind of my mantra, is really trying to make sure I'm real kind of, when people come in my hearing room, and they know that, the attorneys definitely know that, you're going to treat everybody's going to treat each other with respect, and we're going to try to figure this out. We're going to try to solve a problem. I see more of myself as trying to solve a problem, not creating new problems. That's my goal.
Now, you and I were talking before the show started. You and I have a couple things in common. You volunteered at Every Woman's Place. I did many years ago. But you have a heart for youth.
I do.
Talk a little bit about that.
I do. I really struggle with, that's a big part of my job, are the juveniles that, find themselves in some trouble. And so figuring out, For me, and I guess part of it is a little bit of the puzzle of it. Like, why are these kids doing this, and how do we get them on a better path? And so I've spent a lot of time, with research and in training to try to figure out what's the right way to do this. That was the kind of the comment I made to you when we were talking. I started out with, okay, I'm gonna be really firm and I'm gonna yell at these kids, and that's gonna solve the problem. Well, that didn't really work. So,
Right.
So how do we engage these youth, and how do we try different tactics? And honestly, different tactics for different kids, because every kid is different. And don't let anybody tell you different. There's crime all over this county. It's not in one particular area.
Hold on, Jenny.
Yep.
Would you please say that again for our people that think that crime just happens in one part of the town?
Yep. It happens all over this county, almost every day. If not every day, I'd probably say every day. People get caught almost every day. How's that? So it's figuring out, okay, how do we handle some of these issues, and what's the right answer? And so for me, I'm struggling with the guns in the community. So and the kids with guns in the community. I should be very clear about that. So when kids come in front of me and they've been found with guns, or they're shooting somebody, or God forbid they've killed somebody, they're going right at, like, they're coming off the street. There's just no question. And I think we have to be very firm about that, because we've got to stop it. It's got to stop. But on the other hand, when we've got kids who are doing minor things, like some of those traffic tickets that are misdemeanors, that I wonder why are misdemeanors, but they are. So if that kid gets that on his record, then he wants to go in the military, or she wants to go in the military, or then it's on his record. So we got to deal with that situation a little bit differently. Maybe the answer is, okay, let's do some community service, let's have a probationary period, different things like that. So it's really trying to figure out what's best, and really trying to get the community involved, really, and how do we stop some of this violence? Because it's concerning to me. The comment I made to you, like, I have access to the jail list. I see the jail list every day. And every time I see a kid that's been on my docket on that jail list, like it's a kick, it's a stab in the gut. Like, that's not what we want. We want kids to be successful. We want them to, put the guns down. We want them, I want them to go to school. I think that's, getting that diploma is huge. And I want them to be successful. For them and for the community. And so I really feel strongly about trying to figure out what's the right thing to do. And I work very hard at trying to figure out the right thing.
Pastor Burns.
Yeah. I'm going to switch a little bit. People are used to, the mayors and council people running for office. Running for judge is a little different. But what kind of things have you run into, things people ask you when you're running for a judge, other than can they get out of jail free, of course?
Yeah. Yes, that's the thing. You hit the nail on the head. They all ask that. If I vote for you, will you give me a pass? A lot of people are trying to bring politics into it. They're asking, are you pro-choice? Are you pro-life? They're trying to bring the politics into it. And I really try to keep the politics out of it. It's a nonpartisan position. I feel fortunate. I have folks on both sides of the aisle that have been very supportive of me. And so I really try to get people to see, like, the politics doesn't really belong here. This isn't a situation where it matters what party you are, because it's nonpartisan. So really, but it's difficult. It's an interesting world out there. People are very, some days it makes me a little sad, that the sort of division and the attacking, and it's just like, that's the one thing with me and running this campaign. I'm running against some very great people. I like every person that I'm running against, and you will not hear me. It's not about them. This is about me and what I think I can bring to the community. And so I think that's different from some of that, partisan stuff. People are attacking each other and whatever. And I'm hoping we can keep it out, of the judicial races. I don't think it helps anything.
Okay, 224. We only have 225 now. We only have a couple more minutes with Jenny McNeill. Jenny, if people want to know more about you, where can they go as far as information wise if they want to sign? Here's your chance to get that shameless plug in.
Well, they can go to my Facebook page. It's Jenny McNeill for Circuit Court Judge, I believe, is on my Facebook page. There's a lot of information there. It's also my website is probably the best place to go. It's Jenny for Judge. That's the whole thing. Remember that.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, jennyforjudge.com. And you can sign up for a yard sign. You can make an endorsement. You can ask for more information, whatever you want. I'm happy to talk with people. I do tell people I am working, full time. I'm trying to take some time off. Like I took some time off today because I'm not campaigning. I don't campaign while I'm working. So trying to take some time off to do that too. But I am, also have a full-time job. So, but I'm happy to talk with people. I'm out pretty much every night, weekends, and some, I take some afternoons off to talk with people and, just kind of tell people about who I am and that my goal is what I want. My vision is to, make Muskegon better, all of Muskegon County better. That's all I want to do. And I think I have the skills and the tools and the heart to do that. So,
see, you made a mistake. See, I made a mistake. I worked while I was campaigning. So listen, we're interviewing Jenny McNeill. Last question here, last two questions. You said you want to keep politics out. You're looking at this, you feel that you're the most experienced candidate running. You definitely have time served in the community. What do you think is your best quality that you bring into the judgeship?
My best quality, I think, is probably my ability to listen and to the listening and my knowledge of the law, I think are probably my two best qualities that I bring to this position, to sort of say, okay, listen to what it is and to follow the law, because that's really what judges need to do. They need to follow the law. And so I think that I've got the experience of doing that. That's what I've been doing for the last 5 years, but then even the 20 some years before that have brought me to this position.
Okay. Pastor Burns, last question.
What do you want folks out there to know about you that going in August 2nd? What's going to separate you from the other candidates?
I think kind of all of what I've said. I'll repeat myself. The experience. I think that my experience, not only the time, but my experience really in the court system. I mean, I'm in that court system, every day. I'm in there making decisions. I also, one of the things that attorneys don't have to do any kind of continuing legal education. Crazy. I don't understand that. But I've always believed that that's important. So I've spent my time, you're going to find me at lunchtime on Zooms with people all over the country, learning about, things, no such thing as bad kids. I'm doing all sorts of interesting kind of ways to learn. And so I don't think that anyone else has that, sort of that experience and the passion that I bring to the table.
Okay. Wow. All right. You have been listening to Jenny McNeill. Jenny, we say good luck to you.
Thank you.
And God bless. And we'll be talking to you soon. Win, lose, or draw.
Good luck.
Good. Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to your listeners and to talk with you. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Take care now.
Okay. We were talking to Jenny McNeill, who's running for the 14th Circuit Court. That is a new position. It is 2:29 at the bottom of the hour. We're going to go to a commercial break. Coming after that will be Mr. Eddie Jenkins running for State House. See you in a couple minutes.
The second annual I Am Her Feminine Hygiene Drive, supporting young ladies from Ghana, Africa, in need of everyday essentials and feminine hygiene products, was a great success. Thanks to the generosity of our community and organizations like Period.org, Muskegon Heights Public School Academy, Confident Cosmetics, Muskegon Heights Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Inc., and everyone who made a contribution. Hundreds of young ladies and village members received essential items. The community made a lasting impact with more than 10,000 sanitation items donated. If you would like to help, donations can be made year-round by dropping off items in the donation shed at the Maize and Right Media Center, located at 1877 Peck Street, or making a contribution to paypal.me/1037thebeats. For more information, call 231-727-5007. Thank you for supporting I Am Her Foundation.
And welcome back to Torn in Two. It's the bottom of the hour, 2:30, this July 8th, 2022. It's me, Gregory T. Roberts, and of course the co-host, Pastor Melvin C. Burns.
Yes,
There is a new change. The old 92nd district, which I am really familiar with. I ran twice for it. Has changed to the 87th district. And there are several people that are running for that office. We have the privilege of the first person interviewing for that job is Mr. Eddie Jenkins. So, as I said in the first interview, and anyone that I introduce, put your hands together for our guest, Mr. Eddie Jenkins. Mr. Eddie Jenkins, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing very good. Thanks for having me today.
Welcome to the Torn in Two show. We cover news, information, and more. You're running for the 87th district. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a native of Muskegon, basically Muskegon Heights. I was raised here. I pretty much have been in Muskegon my whole life, and I'm a barber. I went to Muskegon Heights High School where I graduated. I've done some college. I didn't get a degree, but I've done some college, and I found out that even trade school works better sometimes for some people more than college, which took me to get my barber's license. It was a lot more.
Please say that again, what you just said.
I went to college, but I didn't get a degree. But like I said, I found something better within trade school. And it was a shorter term, which I finished in 11 months, but it was satisfying for me because when you're actually going to college, and I don't know about other communities, I know from mine, you're so pressed about going to college, and in honesty, everybody isn't built for college. But if we highlight trade schools more, people can be plumbers, electricians, and things of that nature. Even like myself, a barber, which has a better layout for me. I deal with the people a lot, and when I cut someone's hair, they actually feel good when they look good. So I really like that.
Eddie, can I say this? Because maybe I can say it. You don't have to say it. Isn't it amazing? All the experience and all the training that I had running for that office, that was the first question that I would get from certain people. What college did you graduate from? Yeah. And, okay. You don't need to answer that. I got it. Pastor Burns.
But I didn't graduate. So.
But you went on and did what was good for you. Like I had training and stuff like that in different fields and stuff like that. But people were looking for the out, I guess I want to say.
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
Pastor Burns.
All right, Mr. Jenkins, good to see you this afternoon. So tell folks, after being in the community, what brought you to decide to throw your hat in the ring?
Well, after being a part of the Muskegon Heights City Council, and I actually ran for mayor of the city of Muskegon Heights as well, I saw that not only the Heights, but our community needs a different type of representation. They need a type of representation that you can actually see in your neighborhood, that you can actually see going into other communities. That's one of the things about me, and not only me, that's one of the things I notice about the people from my community. See, what I've learned is we are good enough to go to downtown Muskegon and spend our money, North Muskegon, Whitehall, and in other areas and spend our money in our own neighborhood. But it's hard to get other people to take those same monies and come enjoy our neighborhood where we're from. Okay. It just doesn't happen. So I love dealing with people. I love helping out the underdogs. And it's like, for me, this is what I was supposed to do. You know, I'm doing it from the heart. There's a difference when people are doing it for the money. When I got on city council, you know, and a lot of people think that you're making a lot of money on city council. I think we got like 500 in a year. That's gas expenses for a year.
Not right now. It's not.
Yeah, you don't do it for the money.
You might get 7 months. So, you know, I pretty much did it from the heart. And even when I spoke on crime and things like that, when the shootings were going on and other things, a lot of people need to understand that not only am I from the Heights, but I'm from the streets of the Heights. I know the streets as well. So I know educated people from the Heights and downtown in our community. And I know people who are just citizens who deal in the streets and does things. You know, you just can't discount them because of what they're doing or what they're going through.
I see there are several things that you would like to do. You're on the Army National Guard as well.
Yes.
But there's several things as the representative that you would like to do. Let's talk about some of those things.
Okay.
What would be the first thing that you would like to do?
Well, a lot of people don't know about the birthday tax, and that's what we call it because it was a Republican-led bill that was done by Governor Rick Snyder and the Republican legislature in 2016. Well, it imposed a 20% tax fee on your current on your license tab. So every time your birthday come around, you have a high price that you're paying for it. Now, for instance, I have a friend who has a 2005 Cadillac. It's worth $3,000 right now, but they're still paying $212 for their tags. They're not paying what the current weight of the vehicle is. So there's that extra fee of 20%, which is usually supposed to be used to fix our roads. Now, 2016 to 2022, you had to have made very close to that 200 million. And I can still see that the state of Michigan roads are.
Yep. Eddie, can you maybe turn your mic down just a little bit?
Yeah, turn your mic down a little bit.
I'm sorry. Is that a little better?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're getting feedback from you. Thank you very much.
You know, I'm used to doing like a Zoom call when I'm trying to get a job through the temporary agencies or something like that.
You got to be right in their face.
Eddie, what when you're knocking at doors and you're out in the community, what are some of the things that people feel that need to be done?
Honestly, when I went knocking on the doors, some people answer and some people don't. But the one biggest thing that I can say for everybody I speak to, whether it's knocking on their doors or seeing them out in public, it's our roads. It's our roads. Is my mic still too high?
No, that's good.
Okay, it's our roads. On top of our roads, there's a misconception about what's going on in the city of the Heights. Everybody thinks that somebody in the city of the Heights or city council or mayor or city manager even, they think that those people are built in the system, that some way, if we don't have anything to show in this community as far as the roads, trash, and the blight, then somebody's taking those monies.
Okay, Eddie, yeah, turn down your mic just a little bit.
I'm working on it.
Okay, you talked about the retirement tax as well.
Yes. Well, the retirement tax, a bill that came in law in 2011 to fill a $900 million budget. My thing is, as far as me, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it, throw it out there, I'm 46. So as far as retirement, that'll be coming up soon. And to look at the baby boomers who are still around, my mother, my father, my stepfather, you know, they have a heavy tax on what they're going to get out of those pensions. And one thing we're not accounting for is the rising cost of everything in the world, let alone America. Right. Who would expect chicken and eggs to get up as high as it is? So you think about buying groceries and taking care of your regular bills, and you're only getting a pension. That pension isn't like working overtime on your job and you get a little extra here. You only get that set amount and you try to make do with what you're getting. And for some people that's older, I honestly got to say, nobody really wants to work into their 70s and 80s. That's just a fact.
Mhm.
One thing that I want to ask you, Eddie, this seat was created for someone that lived in the region, not
Yeah.
somebody that moved in the region. You have
Yeah.
been here forever.
Oh yeah, I've been here forever. You know, the thing about me being here forever is I was just thinking, you know, it's crazy how like you get older and you see your friends' kids when they were young and they're older adults now, or their kids and now they're graduating school. It's that family kinship relationship that we have in our community where it's like when they say it takes a village to raise a child or a family, it does, honestly. You know,
Mhm.
sometimes we drop the ball on that, but like I say, in our communities, we know each other, or the parents know the other parents. So back in the day, even when I was young, it was okay for somebody to discipline me because they knew who my mom was or they knew who my dad was. And that's the same,
Well,
Mhm.
but we're kind of slacking on that, you know?
okay, Pastor Burns.
Yeah. So Eddie, again, we got a full slate of candidates out there. What do you
Yes.
think makes you stand out from those other candidates?
Well, the first elephant in the room I'm gonna pull out is that I'm the only black candidate, you know,
Okay.
and not only saying that, um, I think that I'm the most visible. And what I mean by that is you'll go into the city of the Muskegon Heights or even the city of Muskegon and you will see me there. You don't know if you'll see me in Whitehall. I might be going fishing or down to Heritage Landing, or I might be over in Twin Lake where we have family. I remember when we used to do the Twin Lake party back in the day where it was a big family thing up in Twin
Mhm.
Mhm.
Lake. That
Mhm.
was wonderful. Honestly, you some people probably wouldn't even thought that a bunch of black people would be out there having a party like that and enjoying themselves. Well, we
Mhm.
did, and we did that for some years too. So
Mhm.
it to me, I stand out because I can be held accountable. You
Mhm.
will see in Muskegon, no matter where you're at, you will see me in Muskegon. Versus other candidates, only come into our neighborhoods when they want votes.
Okay.
Well, you're not. Yeah, you don't, because a lot of people just kind of moved into the neighborhood. It is what it is.
It is
Um,
what it is. Even now, it's like even the people that I'm running against, uh, like I say, I saw Will Snyder at Subway with his with his manager. I saw Deborah. I caught her at the block party that Kaya had threw at the USA Cafe on the block, and that was all good and well and everything. But my thing is the consistency of seeing you. Perfect example is if you go into the chicken coop right now. If you've been in the chicken coop lately, there's not just black people buying chicken out of the chicken coop. there's white people that's coming into the chicken coop buying chicken, and they're not
mhm.
candidates. Those are what I would say are regular people like me. So
Mhm.
you'll see these people and you'll wonder, okay, so if the chicken coop is good enough for us and it's good enough for these guys, but you don't see the candidates up here trying to check out some wings or tenders or anything. The point is having that relationship with your community. But it's all good to go down to Top Shelf on Webster Street and enjoy that, which I
Mhm.
do. But at the
Mhm.
same time, I'm enjoying my community as well, and as well as downtown, the city of Muskegon and Muskegon Township.
Now, the new changes of the 87 district
Yeah.
is what? Muskegon, Muskegon Heights, North Muskegon. What else? Laketon Township.
Muskegon Township, Dalton Township, Muskegon Township, and Roosevelt Park.
Okay, so there's been some changes. Um, you feel
There's
that
also
you're
been
can
changes- Sorry to interrupt you. There's also been changes within the precincts because they rechanged the precincts to where you go vote at in certain areas too.
okay. Okay, good. Thank you. I stand corrected. You feel that you're a candidate that can represent everyone. What about, because it's so divided? It is. I mean, people are so dug in on the Republican Party and the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
Uh, that's not going to get things done.
No.
Um, uh, are you one that will be able to work with the other party?
My thing is I have no choice. And the reason why I say that is because it's a basic business rule for me. I don't have to like you to do business with you that actually is a flourishing business. So I don't have to be Republican. I don't have to like a certain Democrat or Republican to make something pass that I know is viable for our community. So yes, I would work hand to hand, because honestly, that's what's needed. I don't see how a Republican or a Democrat could just stay along with their party line and act like, oh, the Democrats are always right, the Republicans are always right. That's not true. Any one of them can be wrong at any time. And like I say, I'm fighting for Muskegon County. So I believe that whatever needs to be done for Muskegon County, even if it's Republican help, then I would be along with it. Because let's not get it wrong, I wanted the casino here. Terry Sabo wanted the casino here. And from what I saw, Bumstead wanted the casino here. And that's a Republican. So my thing is, along those lines, we all want the same thing. And we should have fought harder together to make that happen.
You bring up a interesting point. It's 2:46 at the man, time is flying. Next question is going to Pastor Burns, but you bring up an interesting point about wanting the casino. I asked Terry Sabo a question.
Okay.
And this was the question. The question was, is it, you see the money that is heading for the city of Muskegon that comes from the state, but not that much money is coming to the city of Muskegon Heights. Is it the person that cries wolf or the sky falling more that gets the dollars? And he said, unfortunately, yes. So what would make you different in trying to address that situation?
Well, for me personally, honestly, I look at the casino as the same. I look at those monies as the same as what the state lottery system is bringing in. I think that's for all those monies that's supposed to be helping the schools in other areas and in our areas, we're not receiving that. But you catch a lot of it in the Detroit area and everything. So you're trying to fix bigger states, bigger areas that you figure are more important. And to me, I don't represent Detroit or Grand Rapids. I represent Muskegon County. So I'm gonna do what it takes to make sure, and I'm gonna hold those accountable to make sure that we get what we need, not just get complacent off being elected, not getting comfortable with being at the state house. Because what good is it if you don't make a mark? I figure one thing I've learned is that what makes a good boss is one that everybody doesn't like. Everybody doesn't have to like me to make sure that we get everything done, because there's always going to be someone who doesn't like you because of a change that's coming. And we need a lot of changes. Of course, in our community, some changes a lot of people don't agree with, but a lot of changes are very, very needed to ensure our future and our kids taking over what we should be doing and what we have done.
Pastor Burns.
Yeah. A lot of people, excuse me, a lot of people expect the Democratic Party to not do well in this coming election. I know you got this expanded district now. Do you think any of that's going to affect the upcoming primary and the general election?
I think it's going to affect everything. I think even the way they redistricted and redid everything, it was more of to try to get Republicans more of a foothold in everything. But let's keep in mind, the Republicans have held the state legislature, the Senate, and the House for years and years and years. And for us to have a democratically led House for only 4 years, that goes to say that Democrats honestly couldn't really be the possible problem. You have so much bickering and things going on within the Republican Party alone over the last something years. So I think that if they even start working together, we could see a lot more in Michigan, let alone Muskegon County.
You talked about what needs to be done locally, and you talked about the state tax and birthday tax. What are some of the other things that you feel need to be done as a state that we need to get accomplished?
Well, that's honestly, I would say a lot of that would be boiled down to a few things: getting our roads fixed, making sure that our water infrastructure, like Muskegon Heights, for instance, getting our pipes fixed so you can have kill two birds with one stone, and we get new roads.
Mm-hmm.
The thirdly, I would honestly say is our gun violence. We have a bad gun epidemic at this point going on.
Mm-hmm.
But the blame isn't always on these kids that are shooting. That they take a full responsibility of it. But my question is, how are these kids getting these guns? Unlicensed and everything. So they have to be getting into the community somewhere by somehow. They are very high grade guns.
Mm-hmm. Pastor Burns.
Yeah. How do you see the relationship in the past, and the relationship between the representative and the local elected officials?
Oh, I honestly, I see that as being a local official. I think it's been, for better or worse terms, pretty crappy.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna tell it like it is, because even when I was up in on city council, there wasn't much presented by our state representative is what I would think should be done. I would think that even from the state, it's like you're right there where at the pinnacle where everything is getting done. So you should make sure that it's equally rationed out, or things are taken back to those communities. If you're in town every week, every other week, once, 3 times a month, there's no way you shouldn't be making a council meeting from the city of Muskegon Heights to Roosevelt Park to North Muskegon to the Heights within a month. I mean, you should always be able to show up. If you're not showing up at a city council meeting to report something at least 5 times out of a year, and that's low, then you're not doing anything to me as far as really showing what you're capable of bringing back to this community.
Okay.
Now, Eddie, it's a different ball game when you get to these in Lansing, in these different positions. You have lobbyists throwing stuff at you. Everybody wants something. Far as the big entity, you have unions and all kinds of stuff. How would you be able to deflect that and do what's important for your district?
Honestly, I gotta say it's because of where I've been raised and how I've been raised, not only from my parents, but by the city of Muskegon Heights as well. Because all money isn't good money. That's what I've been taught. And it's hard, if possible, you can't buy me out because I'm not up there for the money. If things don't come back to my community, if our people, and I'm not just talking black, there are white, Asian, and Indian people in my community who are riding the same boat. Okay. And if we don't show anything to them as far as how that lobbyist or somebody who wants something is going to help us, then it's not possibly going to help us. And like, all money isn't good money. And to be able to say, hey, I got $5,000 if you pass this or pass that. If it's not good for me and my people, it's not the money that matters. It's actually the bill that you want done.
Right. Pastor Burns.
Okay. So I know you've run for office before. And you talked a little bit about some of the things you've heard from people. Anything surprise you running for this broader office as opposed to running for a local office? Anything people told you or asked you that surprised you?
Wait, say that again.
Running for this state office, how has that been different than running for the city council and mayor?
Honestly, it's not much different. Because you got people who may believe in you, and you got people who may doubt you. So to me, it's the same rigmarole. I'm just going out there door to door and getting out and talking to people. And honestly, one thing I can say, no matter how much and how many endorsements someone may have, no matter how many people may say, hey, I'm gonna vote for you, when you go knock on their door, you don't know what's gonna get behind that booth.
True.
Yeah, there's a church in Muskegon Heights, the pastor there, but we won't mention that rural. Never mind, I won't go there. All right. That found out that just because you got a lot of people that don't necessarily vote for you. All right. All right. So we're at 2:54. Eddie, I want people, I want you to spend the last couple minutes and give that shameless plug why people should vote for you, what you bring to the table, how to contact you, all these things. You got the floor.
I'm bringing my past experience from the environment and the neighborhood I've been raised in, the surrounding communities that showed me different, and that you can also have different coming from where I'm from. My experience within the city council and dealing with politics, all the way back to what ignited and sparked my fire to actually want to get into politics was from my mother, Mimi Rankin, when she first ran for city council, and we would flyer cars and things like that. I noticed that she was turned out to be a great pillar in the community because she puts people before herself. She helps everybody, even
Yes,
when
she
it's after work. She's still helping people, and I never was the one to say, "Well, why would you keep helping this person to this person?" I saw the gratitude that she got from it, and my thing is that's the type of person that I am. Even if I felt like I didn't want to help somebody, it's the inner me that's going to make me do it. And, my past political experience shows that I do have political experience. What sets me apart from the rest would be the fact that I'm going to go up there and make sure that our community is taken care of. Not just Muskegon Heights. Let me clarify that. Not just Muskegon Heights, Muskegon as a whole. Because in every area, some citizens have certain problems, and a lot of those problems are the same as ours. So I am going to go up there with passion and dedication to make sure that Muskegon County is represented to the fullest extent, that we have something to show from me being up there, because it's not just me going up there, it's my community going up there, because I'm taking all our voices with me, not just what we want.
Yes.
I'm under Facebook under Eddie Jenkins, candidate for 87th District. I'm at voteeddiejenkins.com, so you can read my website, and where I have a campaign headquarters at 90 West Broadway in Muskegon Heights. Used to be the old house in New York Chicken, if anybody knows.
Okay.
But that's where we're at, and like I say, I'm able to be seen anywhere, because one thing about me is I don't hide. Even if I'm a homebody, everybody might say they're a homebody, but every homebody still has to get out in the community. You still have to purchase things, things you have to get. So either way to it, you will see Eddie Jenkins. And I hope that people come in and vote for me August 2nd as your next state representative.
Mr. Jenkins, thank you so much, and good luck, and God bless. And hopefully we'll see you after the primary.
You'll see me after the primary, and after that, you'll still see me even more, regardless of the outcome. So thank you.
All right.
Mr.
Take care,
Burns.
Ed.
Take care.
We'll see you.
All right. All right. So, man, it's the beginning of election time, man.
It's that season. Man.
It's the season that we love so well.
Yeah.
Lots of changes. People way too mad, and people way too dug in. And what I want to say, and I want you to talk about a little bit about this, we only got 2 minutes.
Okay.
Is these people knocking at your door, regardless of how you feel about them, are running for office. We're in a democracy, republic. They're doing it because they want to serve. Show some compassion for what they do. I mean, the slamming doors and just being flat out ignorant to these people. Now people are getting death threats on the way that they stand is outrageous. You just had the Prime Minister of Japan, past Prime Minister, assassinated yesterday. What happened in England with Boris Johnson. This is an ugly game where people, please listen, this is an ugly game. So the people that do right by running for office, please have some respect. Pastor Burns, last word.
First of all, engage these people that are running. They're knocking on your doors, they're stopping the public. Engage them, have a conversation with them, even if they're people you didn't plan to vote for. If they're from your different political party, or you've heard some, still engage them in conversation. You may be surprised what you might learn, but a lot of things don't change by everybody doing something. It changes by how we individually get engaged in this process. So, Greg, if I, the people we disagree with, the people we don't vote for, we don't attack their kids, we don't throw stuff at their house and their families, and we encourage our friends, no, don't do that. Sometimes with elections, people lose. Then the best book I ever read politics was Teddy Kennedy talking about how the Democrats and Republicans taught him to respect people from the other party. Said they might disagree with you, but that doesn't mean they don't love the country. I've always remember reading and learning that lesson. Sometimes people they aren't evil, they just think differently.
Mm-hmm.
And they may think the same about you. You may not be evil, you just think differently. Because we can't keep dragging this thing lower and lower. We got to bring it back up.
And with this, the words of a famous President Gerald Ford, he said this: too many people to the left and too many people on the right, and not enough in the middle to get anything done. With that said, that's 22 for this date. You take care. Go and sow a seed. Do something nice for somebody this weekend. Take care and God bless.
Take care.